Welcome back. You're still on to the Polity, and it's coming to you from the Abuja studio of KAFTANTV. This is the home run, like I say all the time. On this segment, from this segment, we will flow out of the studio at the appropriate time in just about 20-something minutes time. Now, we've been talking about the Uromi killings, and right now, you must have heard that President Tinubu has approved extension tenure for the Controller General of the Immigration Service. Ordinarily, she was set to retire August 31 this year, but ahead of the retirement, even before at all, 4 or 5 months ahead of the retirement, she's bagged another 1 year, 4 months. Well, part of the release that was sent says it's because of the tremendous impact of her tenure, the great innovations and improvements in service, in quality of service that have come through her. And these tenure extensions have become a lot more rampant if you consider the fact that even the IGs of police, the last two before this current one, whose tenure has also been extended, also got their own tenures extended. And people are saying, must you extend the tenure? Are you saying that there are no qualified persons to step into those shoes? What exactly is behind such decisions? What do you think, Ambassador Agala, what do you think is behind such extensions? Is it that there will be no person who can fill those spaces? What if the person suddenly dies?
Okay.
Yeah, so
thank you so much. We don't pray that anymore.
No, yes, but we never ever pray that. But people are dying even now.
Yeah.
As we sit here, people are dying.
But basically, I think it boils down to programs. The president has a program and he has an intention. He has what he wants to achieve, and give it to them at immigration, give it to them at the Ministry of Interior. They've done very well. The Minister of Interior has done amazingly well.
Sure.
For the Inspiring Youth Africa Initiative and our magazine, I think he was our Man of the Year for 2024.
Right.
So he's done amazingly well, especially as a young man. And if he has a team of young people who have proven to be executing to the letter what their intentions are, why change? Okay,
so why change a winning team?
Why change a winning team?
Why fix it when it ain't broke?
That's the challenge we face with our we're trying to experiment.
Okay, but there are laws concerning retirement age, number of years of service, let me
use the office of the IG, for instance.
Yes.
Yeah, there were 2 other IGs that had tenure and location.
Yeah.
Until there was an act that permitted the IG of police
to serve
for 4 years.
Now, I think that's where the question comes from. Yeah. 4 years, how? 4 years, is it 4 years? No, is it 4 years up to the age of 60?
No.
Or is it 4 years?
4 years from his point of appointment. Now, the office of the IG is a political office.
Yes, it is.
It's a political appointment.
Yes.
A president can come in today and choose he doesn't want to work with this guy and takes him off and bring whoever he wants to work with him. Okay. So it's now is backed by law. I wouldn't be able to say same for the CG right now.
Yeah.
But the truth is, the president has an intention. He has a program he wants executed, and his team, in his estimation, are doing what he wants. I don't think there's anything wrong with her tenure extension.
All right.
Yes, there could be people who can do better than her. But at the moment, what the president is seeing is that she has capacity to still execute what I have in my heart or what I have in my head. The IG of police has served with the president for years.
Yes.
And he knows what his capacities are. Are we seeing it as Nigerians? The answer may not be a yes or a no, But the president is
Is
comfortable
satisfied.
working with him.
Right.
The truth about it is you must get to the point where you're comfortable working with certain people.
Sure.
And that's the only point you can say, I accept responsibility for whatever the outcome of their decisions are. Because if she's not doing right, it boils down to the president not doing right. We have access to visas, we have access to our passport, we have access to our passport, not visa now, have access to our passports at good time.
In good time.
We have, the backlog had been cleared. A whole lot is being
Okay,
working.
because
So,
listen, you're just throwing, how does this affect career progression for other people within the system?
everybody must know. Okay, sorry.
Okay, let me first of all disagree with him a little. Nigeria is an entity. What this implies is that we are governed by law.
Yes.
So at every point in time that there is changes, you must go back to those laws. I want to disagree with that tenure elongation. Whatever way you want to analyze it. The issues is that, like I said, the whims and caprices of the president, execution is key to him. Achievements is key to him. The problem is we are not institutionalizing our progression. Where she is serving is not her home. It's an institution of its own. If the activities of that institution are streamlined, the next person can take over
And still do exactly
the same thing she is doing. The problem Nigeria have is personalizing progression. It must be Duke. If it is Duke, if it's not Duke, it cannot be done. But Duke is working on a project, and if
there are guidelines.
yes, if
following
the project are institutionalized, Duke can give way. Some other person will come,
and Dayo will
follow
come,
those
and Dayo will do the right thing
the
too.
right thing, and then it goes on and on and on. So that is where I want to disagree
Yeah.
with him. On the aspect of achievables, the government is tasty. People are
Hungry.
hungry for success.
That is balance. If the government is tasty, the people
are hungry for governance to. Thank you for that language. The people are hungry for governance to be equitable with their
Their set goals.
no, I want to use that word. Expectations.
Yes, their set goals. yeah.
Nigerian expectation is too high. So in that cause, a change of personnel in a particular, most especially
A place-
within this, where it is so sensitive, might affect the smooth running of
that
that
place.
is where I can agree with him. The commission, the IG of police has set aside, he has personality integrity, he has the formation, the vision of what the president is looking at. The president will say, oh, for 4 years, even though he's expiring, hold on, stay behind, let's finish this tenure. But again, it cannot truncate the laws. If the and I've checked it, it does not fall under vetoes too. What one would have done, the president would have still hired, allow her to retire, hire her as a consultant that will state manage, that will manage.
Well, we're not specifying on the CG. We're just talking on the general.
Even DSS, whatever position
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
whatever the position is that has to do with
Retirement or renewal. Yeah.
You can allow that person to retire. You recontract
As a
as a
consultant.
consultant that will still follow those guidelines and get it done. So nobody should justify. There are chains. When you go, you exit. There are rankings.
Exactly.
When you exit,
Because again, what this does is that
it truncates.
it frustrates some other people's progression.
From being, people have planned themselves.
They have dreams
And have their
of also
that in so year they would have attained CP, they would have attained this, and some persons in the struggle too. She's not the only, or those persons are not the only policemen or the servicemen that supported the government. So in the anticipation, when my boss leaves, I was the next person that supported this government and have the aspirations and whips and caprices of the I should also be fit to fit there. And all of a sudden, you have those 4 years gone. The government you supported, you never benefited anything to, because there were elongations. I think these elongations soon will begin to also go into the political sector. Now, let me tell you something. A time will come. The president had 4 years. The president will say, excuse me, INEC, I will do
third term by the back door.
What I came to do,
okay,
that is why the laws
should be followed.
Then the constitution is that at 4 years you terminate and come back recontest your position. Now the citizens,
after all, I hear that even Trump is already contemplating a third term. So
through the people's the electorates to say you will be given the mandate back
to come back
on appointment. If that person had stopped the years of tenure service, please allow that person to exit, recontract that person as a consultant to that organization, so that they can have a smooth run of the. So I don't want us to begin to justify tenure elongation, because we are waiting. We are waiting to be there.
Oh, exactly. Plenty people
are waiting.
And let's look at this. Could it also be an issue of political politics, for example? Like Duke is the one there right now. If he moves, the next person is Jeremiah,
who is from the north,
who is from a place I don't want, and I don't just like his face. Could it be those kind of considerations?
Let me begin from institutionalizing governance and leadership. As of today, we do not have that in this country. As of today,
and we should continue in that trajectory.
Maybe if you allow me to help us. As of today, we don't have it. It is not something we will do overnight. I don't even think the government of the day is even contemplating it. We don't have a 10, 20, 30, 40 years plan.
No template. We haven't talking about.
So, till tomorrow, it is still his personal ideologies he is running. If he has a successor that refuses to flow with his ideologies, he will change it. If he doesn't, he might choose to continue a bit of his predecessor's plan, but come up with his own. I know countries, Dubai for instance, they have a long year plan.
Okay.
Yes, that even if the prince, even if the prince of Dubai is no longer in place,
the person who takes over.
So it's not about a person. It's about
a program, a vision.
It's about a vision.
Yeah.
The world generally does that. Vision 2020, Vision 2030, Vision 2050.
But it now depends on whether you are faithful to your vision.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
But there's a program. And it is only at that point we can begin to hold leaders accountable. Because in 2025, this is what we're supposed to be doing. You are not doing it. But as it stands now, we don't even know the plan of the the plan of the government.
We know.
Do you get?
We know.
So whether he is, I don't know.
He said he knows and you don't know.
No problem.
So
whether he is achieving it, we do not know. And then institutionalizing governance, it's not a one-man idea. It's a collective idea. So if he knows and you and I do not know, how does their plan impact on you and I? Becomes the question. So we must get back to governance, which is for the people, by the people. Until we get back to that point, we'll keep running around this circle. Move further. Tenure elongation. I would keep saying it. Yes, it's okay not to agree with me. But the truth is, if Duke is the one that has capacity to interpret my program, I prefer to work with Duke, elongate his tenure.
Even if it's against the law.
Now, the Asiwaju government is doing his best to ensure that whatever he says, he backs it up with the law. It is the place of the executive to choose heads of this organization.
Sure, yes, it's a prerogative, yes.
And then get approval from the National Assembly.
Yes.
He has done the same thing with the IG of police. What makes you think he wouldn't do the same thing with the CG and several other appointments? Now, if he is trying to legalize a policy, it's not in my place to say don't do that. The truth is, I may have my life all planned out, but for as long as I am not in charge of how that progression is going to go, it is up to me to allow it. Maybe the chief of the CG of immigration never thought of becoming CG. Providence,
it's possible, yeah.
Just brought her into it.
Yes.
Yet there have been somebody who is supposed to be next in line,
and just dropped.
They've retired the person.
Yes.
This is life. It is possible. Do I justify the fact that you should deprive people of their right? No. But if this is what will bring positive impact, achievement to the government, my brother, let it not be said that if you people didn't allow me to elongate her tenure, she would have done this, she would have done that, she would have done this. Okay, we have allowed you. So that at the end of 4 years, we'll say, okay, after all the elongation, what have you achieved? What have you done? You would have no excuse. So for me, if he backs it up by law, I don't think there's any problem with it. It's okay. Anybody can be there. Anybody may choose to be consultant at the end of the day. Some people will say their set didn't produce chief of defense staff. Their set didn't produce chief of army staff. Must every set produce?
Produce.
There were sets who never produced. So for me, I don't see anything to it. Give us impact. We want to see tangible results. However you want to do it, go all out to make sure it happens. Do it with the laws, all right? Like I said, the IG, he has backed it up with a law. Let's see if this also flies. Let's just get impact. That's all that there is to it for me.
As far as you're concerned. All right, so as far as he is concerned,
give us results.
Give results.
That's all.
Whether or not that affects people's careers.
Well, that's not what I can say.
whether or not people's careers get crushed in the process.
No. That, well,
Duke, is that not what you understand by that?
Of course.
No, I know you won't.
When you back it by law, you're truncating someone's career. What I'm saying is that instead of elongating people's tenure, institutionalize your... See, the Ministry of Youth today, I want to give kudos to the Minister of Youth.
Okay.
A young man below 40, that ministry is institutionalized today. You can go to the ministry, you may not, you don't require to see the minister today. Say what you came for. There are offices that will handle.
Without you having to have a personal
minister. No, you don't need to see the minister. You go in there for the for agri program. There's an institution for it. You go for a empowerment program. There's just make sure that you're meeting the criteria. It goes. When you hold on to the bullets or bulletin of the ministry or of the parastatal you belong to, you are not institutionalizing it. You have a full board of directors. You have technical assistants. When they know the focus, methodologies, the work line of that ministry or that paramilitary you're holding, you can give way.
Yeah, you can stay in
the
background. Okay.
And then
you are even saying that other person can still be given a chance to work from the fringes as a consultant.
So far as the president, his ideologies are enshrined in that structure. Anybody can come in. Is to follow the structure. Whereas there are character difference. Let me cite an example to the present Minister of FCT and the past ministers. One thing the minister of today have is will.
Yeah.
Is not only being able, but he has the will. What I mean is that if he wants to evacuate certain people in certain areas for progress and impact, like you've observed, he has the will. He goes for it. He achieves it. Whereas other person would want to still do the same thing he wants to do, but will be toiling and playing with will. So it begins to linger until 4 years elapse. Then they say the government of XYZ didn't do well in the FCT. So structuring it, putting people that have personality and career and courage to propel it to success and reality is one key thing. That is where I want to likely agree with him. Some persons have that embodiment of willingness, ability. These are the structures, these are the way line. For us as a government, the Tinubu administration, this is not what we want to achieve. This ministry cannot do X, Y, Z, and they are on it. it becomes structural and personalized. So it differs, but we should not do things that will begin to set precedents tomorrow, that other people, the civil service especially, will begin to feel agitated again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think your point is well made, Duke, because if you let Agala just go on,
people will remain in power till 100 years.
Well, at this point, we will be calling it a day on the show. And I really want to say thank you to Duke. Thanks for coming.
And next time, please don't invite me and my boss on air.
So who's the boss now? You said you are the boss. You say, I think it's good because it then shows humility from both parties.
Next time I'll ask who is the next person.
I deliberately didn't allow both of you to know that there was a second person.
I said I am Fubara, but I'm not saying he's the person.
We just got to go now. Thank you very much, Ambassador Agala, for coming. And I want to say thank you to the production team also. Thank you very much to the audience. Thank you. Please stay tuned to KAFTAN television. This is where it's happening. Tomorrow is another day. And Polity will be on air, same time, same station tomorrow. And please do join me this evening at 8, from 8 to 9 for Matters Arising. At this point, it's bye-bye from me, Dayo Omoogun.